Hello, everyone. Detective McCuffsky here, and I'm on the case. On the case of Virginia. I'm gonna hit enter now. 12 days ago, a werewolf escaped in the kingdom. It's my job to find this werewolf. Take him down. Werewolves. Well, this isn't a werewolf. But maybe whoever lives there is. Hello, Father Doyle. I'm Officer Cuffskys. Father Doyle was very upset. His daughter had been mauled by the werewolf the night before. It was always hard telling those when they lost a loved one. Especially when it was from a goddamn dirty werewolf. I'm sorry. When I was a boy, my family was murdered by werewolves. And every case we get like this brings back those memories. The screams of my parents being werewolved to death, and now another family of a boy who looked like a girl gone. Ma'am. Father. Ma'am. Father. The two were in distress. In fact, it was the first priest-lady marriage in our town. And the fact that their son-daughter was attacked by a vampire, werewolf, made things all the worse. It was up to me to see if there were any clues. We'd only found the arm. We had to find the rest of the body before it turned. It was up to me to search the room. Or rooms. Father O'Doyle and his wife had... What's this? A problem. ACC, Anderson Community College. Enrollment... Hey, they spelled enrollment wrong. Can't be a great college. New student. Computer science. Edith Fairfax. Cedar Street. That morning I'd done my nails like I always do. God damn, I was a pretty man. City. Kingdom Burgers. Virginia. 22948. Edith Fairfax. Seems Mrs. Fairfax was going back to school. But that was none of my business. So I put in my jacket. Hell, I'd go back to school. If it could get me away from these werewolves. I looked down at my sweet pointy lady shoes. Yeah, I was a sexy man on the force. The other cops would always tell me, McCuffsky, you're too sexy for the job. I'd just giggle and blush. But today was no day for blushing. A feather? Or perhaps a new strain of werewolf? My God. The lab in town had always been doing odd experiments. Had they been gene-splicing werewolves with birds? If this was true, things just went from bad to ultra bad. It's an old-fashioned toilet. Lucas. This is where their daughter lived. A peeping Tommy. Peeping Teresa. Let's see what old Teresa was up to. Books, of course. This is what the kids did these days. Gone were the days of hours inside playing Jukebox Jimmy and Touchfoot Toms. Classic games of my heyday. I'd sit inside with my friends eating chump gumps non-stop. And watching old 80s movies like Heathers and Back to the Future. Clothes. And a wall. Perhaps, of course, My God. A secret worshipping room. Seemed Teresa may have summoned the werewolf herself. It's time to explore. Analog photography. The type that only werewolves could appreciate. And what was this? Photos of things? The chief of police having dinner with Mrs. Pumpkin Pie. The old water tower, where it was said many werewolf babies were hatched. And what's this? Thomasia and her mother. The case was getting deeper. Deeper than my double XL fleshlight I had at home. And I used, because I had to get my money's worth. What's this? A guitar? Lucas. A book. Typical. Again. Just then I had a flashback. Me and Margaret. My God! The werewolf. Oh, wait, no. A docile werewolf. Not a major threat to us, but to nature. Later that night, me and my partner, Rochelle, were driving home. Usual stuff like crickets and Jeep trucks. When we pulled into a late-night gas station, I was hankering for a Take 5. They usually didn't sell them near me, so whenever I got near Rochelle's house, I was like, hey, can we stop at the gas station where they got the Take 5s? I really want to get one. Rochelle stopped the car. But her work wasn't done. No, it never was. Rochelle was the type of partner who'd wake up at 4 in the morning and check her ass. I was just checking to see if the sun visor was down. Maria Halpern. Was this Rochelle's book writing name? Maria Ortega, another fake name. My God. Is that Cool Beats Tommy and the gang? Cool Beats Tommy and the... Several hours later and several songs and reassurances from Rochelle, I was better. Rochelle, your pocketbook fell over. Also several, Take 5s. Thank you for the Take 5s, Rochelle. As I drifted to sleep, I thought of the sugar plum people that helped me get over my dead vampire-killed parents, werewolves. Tuesday morning I woke up. After a good midnight jacking session, it was time to get back on the case. We had a few clues. Lucas's journal that I'd taken and not reported. A broken key. I was now locked in my room. The missing poster of Lucas, the boy that was a girl and who wasn't named Lucas. It was time to check out the journal, see what I could find out about this missing girl. I opened the book and found a bookmark. Quaint. Visit Cannon Observatory Science Center, Exhibition of Space Technologies, Theater of the Stars, parking lot, and refreshments. Parking lot. I wonder if they charge extra. I took the bookmark and looked at it a little bit closer, and then at Teresa. Could there be a connection? I looked at Teresa's shitty pictures. A feather, a man in a cave, and a UFO. Had the scientists bred a vampire werewolf bird alien? No. But the further I looked into the diary, the more it came apparent that it could be true. I looked at myself, the goddamn sexiest man I'd ever seen, and hot damn, my nails are looking beautiful from this angle. I walked along the room, seeing what else I could see as an ethereal ghost. I'd heard many stories on the Discovery Channel and various podcasts of out-of-body experiences. This was one. and I wasn't gonna pass up the opportunity to play some pranks on my next-door neighbor, Mr. Rowley. Mr. Rowley always made loud noises, like he was ripping his mustache off with tweezers. But I didn't very much like that. It was time to get revenge. It was time to make believe I was a werewolf. Later that day, not at my birthday party, but possibly at my birthday party, the werewolf came back. The cops were having Thanksgiving dinner from the waitress Margaret from the local diner. The other side of the room, the boys were having a good time, chucking about Teresa and what she meant to them. I walked over to the wife and asked her a few questions. "Ma'am, how long have you been smoking? You know that stuff kills you." It was a beautiful spring afternoon, and I had just had enough of this case. Too many bad memories and too bad smelly smells. Officer Chomsky was nailing up Teresa's room and doing a pretty piss-poor job of it. Also, that was the pastor. But there was a door I hadn't checked out before. Could this be the werewolf room? As I walked closer, the red glow shone on my face. I froze in place, thinking of what could be beyond the door, beyond the metal frame in front of me. The metal frame that was wood, but with a tiny bit of metal. I walked forward and pushed the door open. Later that night, me and Rochelle got TGI Fridays, my favorite. I got the barbecue chicken, and Rochelle got a sex change. What a time to be alive. Werewolf! Werewolf! It seemed that docile werewolf wasn't so docile after all. I reached for my gun. It was too late. The week before, I'd gotten a gift card to the AMC theaters. Should I see the new Bridget Jones movie? Just then, the commander-in-chief himself stepped in the elevator. I told him good morning. He didn't say a damn thing. After I'd had an affair with his wife, we didn't talk much. Later that day, in my basement office, I walked inside with my chili burgers under my arms. Also, I always knocked on my office door. Inside it was empty. I wasn't expecting anyone, because I'm a damn sexy lady, and if you get in my way, you get in the law's way. Long day, too much work. If I don't do it, well, I'm a jerk. I looked around the room, trying to remember what I'd done last. What exactly was I supposed to be doing today? I let out a sweet barbecue chicken burp, and then realized I was going to finish my arts and crafts for the day. I picked up my pirate necklace. Almost finished. Inside was a picture of my grandmother. Ah, yes. Theodore Roosevelt. But wait. Was Rochelle? Rochelle. She was a time traveler. And my grandmother. She was Theodore. Grandmama, I can explain it. Look. I don't know how, but Grandmama was having none of it. She wanted me out of the office. She needed to correct the timeline, to figure out how to save my parents from them werewolves. All right, Grandmama, you can do it. I walked out the room as she slammed it behind me. She didn't like to slam doors, so I walked down the hallway, thinking about what I'd done. Later that day, me and Grandmama Rochelle Theodore Roosevelt went to the park I always went to as a small child, and the park near the laboratory. If we were going to get any information out of the government, we'd have to break into the lab to find out what exactly they were doing with the werewolves. Grandmama Theodore Roosevelt, with the time technology, had found a small cave that led directly to the lab. If we could get there, we could figure out this goddamn mystery. We could figure it out hard and fast. But Theodore Roosevelt, my grandmother, well, she had different plans. She wanted to talk things out. Grandmother, we don't have time for this. We need to find the murderers. Was that a bird? It was. Perhaps we were on the right trail. I walked forward. I hear it too, Grandmother. The birds. My God. I took the boards down, one by one. Inside was a single red bird, cheap in its name, like a Pokemon. I reached over and tapped on the cage, or opened it. The small bird hopped right into my hand, and I showed Theodore. Look. You were right, Grandmama. They are splicing birds with vampires. But it seemed they discovered us. And they'd killed Grandmama and the bird. They'd taken my parents. They'd taken my grandmother. And they'd taken my new bird friend. It was time for me to get vengeance. It was time for me to get Virginia.